Impact.
New talents, experts, and professionals in different fields.
Different topics contribute knowledge to society.
And what's going on here in the summer?
It's Impact, hosted by Tariq Al-Barwani.
Tuesdays and Sundays at 9 p.m.
All here every week on the Native Station.
And welcome to Impact, a weekly edutainment and knowledge sharing program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to society. Every week, Impact hosts and invites guests that are expert, professional, and leaders from the field that bring wealth of knowledge to you. Impact also highlights and promotes talent in the country that contribute knowledge and success to the nation. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I have with you every Sunday at 9 a.m. and Tuesday at 5. Your host, Firas Al Musafir, along with our studio engineer, DJ Ayub, for an hour, bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90. Okay, stay tuned after this music break for today's very topic and today's very unique personality.
Your nation station across the country. From Al Dahira to Al Sharqiya, Masandam to Dhofar, and everywhere in between. This is Oman FM. More than just the music. Best variety, more music. Tune into the nation station across Oman and on our app, Oman Radio. Music.
Welcome to Impact, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tariq Al Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Ayub, with you here today live on Oman Radio FM 90.4. The Innovation Factory Center, Masna' Al-Ibtikar, has been inaugurated at the Knowledge Oasis, Muscat. A fantastic project of a number of Omani inventors in collaboration with ITA, the Information Technology Authority. The question is, what is it? What does it do? And how can you be part of it? And the story behind and the journey and success is our subject today, ladies and gentlemen. Here on Oman Radio FM 90.4. My guest today is a respected and a well-experienced innovator, the founder and CEO of the Innovation Factory, Mr. Firas Al Musafir. The Innovation Factory Center offers a number of services, including the innovation, and the center also conducts research and scientific development studies with the users in order to study the ideas and turn them into commercial solutions. The center has a foundation aims to build and develop inventory skills, specific time frame through a project learning approach, and the Innovation Factory for young people, which provides school visits with the aim of raising awareness about innovation through experiments. Firas Al Musafir is with us here today, and I'm very pleased to him on about the successful journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ustad Firas, how are you doing today?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I'm doing fine, alhamdulillah.
It's always great and a pleasure to see you, Firas. But before that, let me share with you a very important experience for myself. I have met a numbers of innovators, but then if I am to pick an innovator, then I'm going to pick one specific one, that is Firas, mashallah. And why am I saying that? I usually like to back what am I saying in my statement. You've got a lot of great innovators, but innovators that are building on innovations for something to do about a product that they have done and they work down. The difference with, mashallah, Firas Al Musafir, and I've always speak about it, is that he builds a nation around innovators. His aim is to build innovators, and mashallah, now we've come and seen innovation hub and factory built in Oman, and inshallah ta'ala, we're going to see many innovators. Now, I know if I start talking about Firas, I'll end up writing a book. So my focus today is to talk about the Innovation Factory Center and how it works. We're very pleased to have you here today.
Same thing here. I'm very pleased to be here.
Our session today, please tell us briefly about the entry.
Innovation Factory is basically, this is a project started 5 years ago.
Okay, mashallah.
In collaboration with Information Technology Authority,
okay,
ITA. And in a nutshell, it's simply like a hub for innovation.
Okay.
And it's designed. Its main service is an open lab. It is the first open digital fabrication laboratory.
Okay.
In Oman.
Okay.
And well, it's open to everyone. It opens to Omanis, non-Omanis, to housewives, to specialists, to everyone.
Okay.
And digital fabrication, this is basically like the latest in technology of fabrication.
Okay.
And when we say it's open, it means it's open to everyone. So anyone can come there with an idea or like an invention and start working on it. We also offer a variety of other services at the factory, such as educational programs for school and for amateur inventors.
Okay.
We're also trying to create like a culture of innovation. So we do host several events during the month, talks and competitions.
Okay.
So that's in a nutshell
what it is.
What is it? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have personally visited the Innovation Factory, and I can tell you one thing, with all activities that I do in business, when I entered inside there, I've already started feeling the innovation feel. Needless to mention about the place, it looks fantastic. The tools that is available over there, very, very ready, available for you. The team that is behind this, of course, under the leadership of Mr. Firas himself, are very, very helpful. In fact, I would like to say a very, very personal experience. I drove a car when I was going to the Innovation Factory when I was being invited. And then when I arrived over there, I parked the car. I couldn't look for a place to park. That was the thing. And then a gentleman inside was wearing an overall came in and he said, this is how you park your car, and explained to me. I was, thank you so much. And I parked the car. He could park it on the side. And of course, I entered inside. I met up the team and everything. And then I see this young, mashallah, talented and a smart guy comes to me with the overall again, who helped me outside, which was very good. And it turned out to be Firas. Now, that is an example of a leader, Firas.
Thank you.
Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. You find many, many leaders sitting in their cabins, locked around, but you're a different example. And I don't forget about that day. And I was talking about the team that we were with. I said, this is an example of a great leader. You came outside, you ensured that I parked, and then you came in and started telling me about it. And I encourage everyone, ladies and gentlemen, you need to go to the Innovation Factory, which is at Knowledge Oasis, Muscat. And I can tell you one thing, not only the place is very good, not only they have a great team, you will learn a lot about innovation, inshallah. Tell me one thing, Firas. What led you to creation of this Innovation Factory?
Well, we get to ask, a lot of people ask us this question on days, like, what's the motive behind this? Is it like something you saw outside and you wanted to implement in Oman? Is it like an initiative that is somewhere and you just like copied it and you're trying to make it work here? And I tell them that this project was built out of a necessity.
Okay.
My team, me and my team, 6 individuals, we're like we're academics. Okay, so we all come from different academic backgrounds. We're like physicists, mechanical engineers, programmers, computer engineers, but we're mainly inventors. So that's core of us. Since our childhood, we've been inventing and tinkering and building things. And when I say it was, we built it out of a necessity because, like, we didn't have a platform for us to experiment.
True.
To find components and get guidance. I remember in my days, I come from the age of before the internet.
Yes.
We used to have the science club, Nadi Al-Ilmi.
Oh yes, I remember it.
Yes, and that was like our harbor.
Yeah.
And beside that, the government labs or private labs, they were all closed.
Yeah.
So for you to get access to them, it was a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So our only way to build our imagination was to break machinery and get the components out of them.
Yeah.
Or we go to the industrials like Ma'bela or Wadi Al-Kabir, and we try to fabricate. We simply do like all inventors does we use the backyard, the house, or like and build things. That wasn't really enough for us. Our ambitions, ideas, they're bigger than that. And Alhamdulillah, once we grew up and we established a career and we started to have the ability to order components from outside or like, you know, create our own labs. That was because we were like fortunate enough to luxury.
Yeah.
But the idea here is that we wanted to provide the youth a space for them not to struggle to find components or guidance or machinery. So when I say the Innovation Factory was built out of a necessity, it's a necessity of such as this. We need a place where people can come, gather and work on different projects, find guidance and find machinery. So this is where the idea started. We wanted a space like this. So 5 years ago, we met with some officials from ITA and from the Ministry of Commerce, and we proposed the idea. We said, like, how about we build a space for like inventors, or sometimes we like to call them geeks.
Yeah. Mm.
And the idea apparently was very appealing for the officials, and they said, okay, cool, let's start working on something. And since then, 5 years ago until this moment, we just inaugurated our building like almost now like a month ago. We're able to, alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah, to provide the public with such space. So again, back to your question, like, we built it out of necessity.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
It's and we keep telling people that usually projects that are built out of a necessity, these are the projects that can actually stay and have impact to the community more than just importing experiences from the outside just because they are new or up to date or such. Yes.
Yeah. MashaAllah, it is definitely a platform, ladies and gentlemen, that I'll tell you, if you go inside, you feel like home. And I can tell you one thing, if you go inside, it's very, very difficult to go outside. Allah.
Thank you.
Tell me one thing, if you right now describe the office, how will you tell me the size of the office? What can people see inside? So I would like the people who are listening to us now to virtually feel what would they see when they come inside.
Yes. We're located at Knowledge Oasis. In front of Waljat College.
Okay.
And we are the land plot itself, it's 3,000 square meter.
Okay.
And the constructed area is 300 square meter.
Okay.
From the outside, the building looks different than any Ofcom buildings. It looks like a skewed cube.
Yeah, I can tell you something, by the way, with that experience. When I came here with one of my partners at Knowledge Oman, I came in and I was looking at the place because I was called by one of your team members to come and see it. And I'll tell you what, I've been looking around, I didn't know it. But then I was telling my partner, remember, I see there is one unique building here. All the other building, I know it. I've been there for many time and worked on some initiative with them, but they're all the same. But there is something unique, and I think that is the one.
Yes.
So mashallah, you explained it.
Sometimes we like to call it matchbox.
Yeah, mashallah.
It's a cubic building, and it was a design we worked on 4 years ago.
MashaAllah.
We didn't hire like a consultancy to
build the place.
To build or to design the place.
Okay.
We actually designed every single nut and bolt
of the place,
of the building, the place, the interior. 5 years ago, we even created like a virtual experience, so you could just sit, wear some goggles, and you could see the building, the entire structure of it, how it looks and feels 4 years ago.
MashaAllah. So the whole setup you had it before it was actually built.
Yes, exactly.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
And the reason we paid great attention into like visualizing the building and the interior, because they say like seeing is believing.
True.
And for us to convince our partners that this is that our building is different and our approach is different, we visualized it for them. And a lot of people who came to the opening and they looked at the building, they said, "Oh, this is the same thing we saw 4 years ago, identical."
MashaAllah.
Now the space itself, when it was in, we wanted to set some examples in the shape itself. Usually, my colleagues, like innovators or people who want to build things, they used to say like, we need support, we need the government to do this, to do that, and we wanted to set an example that innovation doesn't require a lot of space. So you don't need like a large compound, buildings and like facilities for innovation, because let's not forget, a lot of the innovations that we use on daily basis, from the Fitbit to the Oculus to all these innovations, the computer came out of a garage.
True, very true.
So space is something you limit your mind with.
Yeah.
So we're challenged to create a multi-purpose space, a space that can transform from one form to the other.
Okay.
And that's why the space, or the Innovation Factory, it's an open space. There's no like divisions to it. It's just one open space with a 7-meter high ceiling.
MashaAllah.
People ask like, why this high ceiling? Because I'll tell you a story. Like my grandfather had, he has a farm, and since we're children, he used to tell us he had those turtles. And he used to tell us that the bigger the container you're going to keep the turtles in, the larger they're going to grow.
Okay.
So we made sure that the roof is high, so the ideas from the Innovation Factory will like be as high as the roof.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Now how it's divided, we have the first section is the reception.
Okay.
And this is, we like to call it the command center.
Okay.
Of the Innovation Factory. From the reception, you can do all the bookings, you can get all the information you require. We have several touch tablets there, large ones. You can use them to do self-booking to the services.
And there's no human
so far, there's no receptionist. When I say like we wanted to change some already concepts that exist, one of them is that whenever you go to any facility, you would usually need to meet a manager, or at the Innovation Factory you don't need that. So you can get all the information from the reception.
MashaAllah.
And you can do all the bookings online or through our website. So this is the reception. When people ask me about the reception, I say the masterpiece of the reception is a cookie jar. That's our message to people. Like you're welcomed.
MashaAllah.
And then we have the lounge. The lounge is basically a multi-purpose space. It can transform into different things. So it can be at one moment like a workshop area. It could be like a lecture hall. An exhibition space, and a lounge, and we designed it in a way that it can transform into all these shapes. So this is the lounge, and then we have the mezzanine level. That's a second level. This is to utilize the height of the building.
Okay.
And on the mezzanine level, you'll have the coffee shop, and that's a space for you to have. We equipped the coffee shop with popcorn machines and different type of machines that will keep our guests and users' tummies full with sugar and and then we have the private study cabinets. These are basically like 3 spots under the mezzanine level.
Okay.
And there you can hold like private meetings, you can do sessions. Usually we do our consultations there. We also have under the mezzanine level the office area, and there's nothing really to the office area. It's just a space for the management to have private meetings and to discuss things and plan. And then everything I just described was the half of the building. The second half of the building is the lab, and that's the core of the Innovation Factory. It's an open space filled with desktop machinery, from 3D printers, laser cutting machines, 3D scanners, all type of hand machinery. And there's also the store where we store all the components for innovators to use. And then at the back of the building we have the outdoor area, This is like for heavy machinery and to cut like large pieces and to construct different projects. So this is like how the building looks and functions. And as I said, our challenge was to utilize this 300 square meter in a way that it can host different activities separately or at the same time.
Okay.
If you come and visit us anytime in the evening, where the students and innovators start pouring into the factory, you can't find a place for you to step.
Wow.
You have people sitting on the steps. You have people working on the floors. You have people working in the private study cabinets, the lab, and this is the community that we are trying to create. And many of the times, because of the nature of how open is this space, you see people collaborating from different projects. So one guy is building a drone, the other guy is building a glider, the other person is building a soft robot.
Okay.
And you see some of the team members of this project working on parts of the other project.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is exactly what we envisioned, a space, a culture.
MashaAllah. Yes. One thing I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have been to Google campuses, I've been to Facebook campuses, and if you want to feel the campuses, then the Innovation Factory is the place here in Oman, located at the Knowledge Oasis, Muscat. You will go inside there, ladies and gentlemen, and I can tell you one thing, that is the exact feeling you will have, MashaAllah. We're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and revert back to our interesting discussion about the Innovation Factory.
Impact.
New talents, experts, and professionals in different fields.
Different topics that contribute knowledge to society.
And what's going on here in the Sultan.
It's Impact, hosted by Tariq Al-Warwani.
Tuesdays and Sundays at 9 p.m.
It's all here every week on the Nation Station.
The Innovation Factory Center was inaugurated here in Oman, a very fantastic space where it welcomes people to go and learn about innovation. It brings all the innovators under one hub to sit and think and tinker and work like geeks, work like innovators and build things. And I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about different people, innovators in the world. An example that many people speak about is, for example, you're talking about Steve Jobs. I can tell you one thing, in Oman, we have Firas Al Musafir, mashallah, innovator that builds innovators in the country, mashallah. Firas, we spoke about the Innovation Hub before the break, and you told about what led you to creation of the Innovation Factory and the different partners that you have along, and the team who are with you, who are working on the Innovation Hub. Tell us one thing. Tell us about the history of the Innovation Hub, the way it came about, creating it, and so on.
Sure. One of the things that we emphasized while creating this project is that we wanted people to come there and to come to us and realize the possibilities. So one important thing we did while creating the Innovation Factory is that we, this is a story actually where we tell anyone who's visiting us, that everything they're going to see at the factory, everything from the ceiling, from the floor, from the metal work, the woodwork, it was all built by us.
MashaAllah.
A team of 6 people. And in the last 2 months before the inauguration, we were blessed with hundreds of volunteers from all segments of the society. And a building like this would actually cost us, according to our research with contractors and consultants, it would cost market cost around $1 million.
Okay.
We built everything there for 80,000.
MashaAllah.
And that's less than.
And here
8%.
all locally, the team over here locally builds the whole thing.
Yes, and how we managed to cut the cost this way is through a simple trick. We built it ourselves.
Yeah,
so 4 years ago, we designed the entire building, and we created the documents that describes how this place was going to function. And then 6 months ago, we started with a tent. So we built a small tent in the land that was given to us on rental basis by ITA.
Okay.
And from that tent, we started to construct every single element of the building. So, and this is the story that we try to inspire the youngsters who come and want to build things. Is that this is a team of 6 people with limited budget. They managed to build a building that would cost $1 million with a very small budget, and in 6 months.
MashaAllah.
So if we can make it, you also can make it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A very powerful message, ladies and gentlemen.
And one of the amazing things that we really feel fortunate that we went through is that in the last 2 months of the construction period, we were blessed with hundreds of volunteers. Every single day we used to get people from the university, SQU, from technical colleges, from different segments of the society, individuals, professionals. They come to our doorsteps and they say, like, we hear that there's 6 people trying to make a building. Can we help in?
MashaAllah.
And this is a great example of how society can work together to achieve anything.
Definitely.
This gave us the power to keep giving more and to finish the construction on time. And so this is in a nutshell, like the
history of how the Innovation Factory was built.
Yes,
MashaAllah.
yes.
Tell me one thing. So now, what are the services or activities that you offer to the public?
Yeah, our main service is the Open Lab, and the Open Lab is basically, as we all know, and this is not only in Oman, it's everywhere in the world. Government labs or educational labs, they're all closed. In a sense that you cannot really use them easily, and that's something understood because they have a specific function. So the idea of an Open Lab, this is a lab where you can come. Use our equipment, break them down, and fix them. It's a space where you can experiment, and it's essential for innovation that you have a space to experiment without the fear of breaking the machinery or like laws and regulations. Of course, we have a set of regulations to govern the lab, but then we're open to everyone. So people come to us with ideas, and we help them out. Now, how does it work? We have a membership system. So you get a membership to the lab. We're considered one of the most affordable memberships for an Open Lab on the entire planet. Not in Oman, yani bas. And so you get a membership, and then if you know exactly what you're supposed to do, you can just go ahead and use the lab. If you don't know, if you're not a specialist, you can make use of our 5-step process. We have a process we formalized over the past 5 years where you can come up with an idea, even if you're not a technical person, not a specialist, and we can guide you through these 5 steps, and you will end up having a fully functional prototype.
MashaAllah.
And a fully functional prototype is something essential for the innovation process. If you want to mass produce something, or if you want to experiment, you have to have a prototype. So the lab itself, it's a place that can enables you to prototype your ideas. And we had examples in the past 20 days, 30 days from now, since the operation. People come with ideas, with no expertise, and then they end up having their prototypes ready.
Wow.
And after you're done with your prototype, for example, you are thinking of commercializing it. We also have a process for that. So we can lead you to all the investment funds and link you to businessmen, people who can help you accelerate or kick in your idea. Anything you build at the Innovation Factory is your own intellectual property. So we don't own anything. So whatever you're building there, that's yours. Our job is not to make it for you. Instead, we teach you how to make it.
MashaAllah.
And one of our main objectives, daily objectives, is that we're trying to promote for 300 technologies of the future. So anyone who comes here at the Innovation Factory with an idea, we try to one of our most booked services is a consultation. Free consultation. It's always free. So you come for a consultation. We're not going to judge your idea. We're not going to tell you this idea is good or bad. That's not our role. Instead, we're going to fine-tune it, introduce you to 300 technologies of the future, tell you like, how about you use this material or that material, or like, have you heard of this technology or that? And by doing this, we noticed that a lot of the ideas that come to us, and after the consultation, they start to become richer and more up to date and energetic and feasible, and yeah. So,
Mashallah, that's really amazing, Ustad Firas, because now everyone who has anything in their head as an idea, they have an opportunity and a place and a platform that they can go and turn this idea into something practical. Tell me one thing, what about the timings?
Well, our timing is a little bit different, okay? When we first set up the timing, a lot of people said it might not work, you know, but it's actually working. We work 4 days a day. A week, 4 days a week, from 10 to 7 o'clock.
10 morning until 7 p.m.
Exactly.
With breaks?
With breaks, yes. Usually we don't have breaks. We're so excited about having the inventors there. I say usually that I grew older in the past 5 years trying to make this thing happen. And in the past 1 month, I became like younger.
Yeah, indeed you are.
Just out of seeing all the passion and ideas, brilliant people come there, come to us every single day with ideas that we couldn't even imagine that they exist. And that's something really refreshing and beautiful. So we are open 4 days a week from Saturday to Tuesday. And from 10 to 7 o'clock. We open late because majority of the users, the students, they're people who work in different sectors of the society, and they usually come after they're done with their work. If you come in the morning, this is the time where we do consultations for private entities and like government entities, and in the evening, this is where all the youngsters
geeks and innovators and
the crazy ones,
come in.
and they all come there. And sometimes we find it even difficult to close at 7. We have to like start telling them that but we can't really let them. We started this project 5 years ago out of a passion. We want a space like this for our youngsters, and we'll do anything possible to make their ideas and dreams come true. And there's also another reason why we're actually working doing this is that we believe that innovation can lead to a better economy.
True, very true.
All the leading countries in the world now, their currency is innovation.
True.
So by enabling and by empowering the innovators in Oman, we will be also participating in developing our economy,
inshallah,
to the country that we love and we perish.
Inshallah. Tell me one thing, Firas, how is the Innovation Factory promote the services, and how do you market yourself? How can people know more about yourselves?
Yes, they can start by visiting us.
Yes, that's one of the things that I've done, and I also encourage everyone, ladies and gentlemen, the Innovation Factory, which is available in Knowledge Oasis, Muscat. If you go there, you will not miss the building and the office, because I can tell you one thing, it is indeed very creative. From the outside of the building, and when you go inside, is a different world. Like you've got your Google, Facebook, the campus looks very, very good. And then even better, the people, all the way from all the members great into their leader, Firas, I can tell you they're all lovable, kind, ready to support you all the time. Is there any digital platforms or anything that people can visit you?
Yes, we have our website, if.om. And we have our social media channels like Instagram, if.om. We have a platform on Facebook also, if.oman. And Twitter too. But you asked me about how do we promote for ourselves, and I would tell you something. We try our best in our strategy not to promote to ourselves, but to promote to innovation. For innovation. And so far, usually anyone who steps to the Innovation Factory and start to see the atmosphere and the services, I was telling my team recently that we haven't spent a lot on marketing, because people who come to us, they market for us.
They market it themselves. Yes.
And our marketing strategy is very simple. We try to be helpful and be nice to everyone, regardless to your idea. So just by doing that, I think with the blessing of Allah, you can you get people, you get one person getting the other person, one other getting the other person, and we're a team of 6.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it gets very difficult to handle this amount of innovators. That's why we have a booking system. So if you want to visit us, you can go to our website and book a tour.
Okay.
Free tour, and you can book a free consultation, and that's the only way for us to be able to manage the large numbers of innovators and people who want to visit us. So we use a booking system to arrange for all the visits. That's our method.
Is there any prerequisite for people who are visiting? A prerequisite, for example, he or she need to be of this age, or he or she need to have this kind of qualification, or he or she need to be studying here or there? I know you said this is open for both local and expatriate, which is very, very good. But is there any prerequisite?
Nothing. Maybe age.
Okay.
You should be verbal.
Okay. You should be verbal. Oh, that's
yes,
good.
Exactly.
So I can get my son over there. He's 10 years old.
We actually did a workshop. You could see the video on Instagram. We did last week a workshop with some scouts, cubs from different schools, and we made them build a rocket car. MashaAllah. So they came to our place on 2 days, and we taught them how to use the digital fabrication machinery to build the vehicle, the wheels. They used a laser cutting machine to cut the parts.
Yeah.
And then you used different hand tools to put it together, and then we used like a cola or like a soft drinks bottles, cans, and we pressurized them with high pressure, and then we had that vroom rocket launching from the front of the Innovation Factory.
Wow.
And
MashaAllah.
This type of experiments, we always say that the experiments of today, innovations of tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we try to engage the youngsters also at the Innovation Factory. We have a membership, special membership for school students.
Okay.
This is actually one of our most selling memberships.
Okay.
People come there, they get their children, and they get exposed to different type of technologies. They get exposed. The youngsters get exposed to the spirit of the Innovation Factory. And you never know who's going to be inspired, who's going to be the next Bill Gates, who's going to be the next Steve Jobs, who comes out of the Innovation Factory, out of a simple experiment like a rocket car.
MashaAllah. Yes. The Innovation Factory, ladies and gentlemen, which was launched here in Oman recently, of course, and a hub, a platform which brings all the innovators in under one roof to come sit together and build useful and great things that could also build our economy here in Oman. MashaAllah. And we have today our guest here, the CEO and founder, Mr. Firas Al Musafir, a great man and an innovator himself, who has led the idea with a great team of 6 people who are making a great impact to our society here today. Tell me one thing, Firas. What are the plans that you have for the future?
We're planning we're basically implementing the strategies of the Innovation Factory, which is to keep offering the platform and keep it affordable for everyone to use. And our main goal is to promote for 300 technologies of the future, because it's very essential for our youth to know the future in order for them to build it. So when I say 300 technologies of the future, things like aerophonic gardening, like big data, Internet of Things, smart material, composite material, soft robotics. These are the topics that we want to introduce to the general public for their inventions to be up to the next level. And to be in line with the international effort in innovation. We also have plans to probably like expand the innovation factory to different locations. Have a portable open lab from that can go from one wilaya to the other. And give the chance, because we are located right now in Muscat, and some of wilayat, I don't know, in Oman, like it's difficult for them to come to Muscat to use the facility. So we're considering that highly with partners of how to have many innovation factory.
MashaAllah, across the country.
Exactly.
So from Muscat all the way to Salalah,
exactly.
so people can come in. That's a fantastic and a noble cause, MashaAllah. Tell me one thing. What about the challenges that you faced?
Challenges, usually our main challenge every single day is to change the mindsets of the innovators themselves.
MashaAllah.
The main objective of every single consultation is to open the horizons to the innovators themselves. A lot of innovators, they come to us with a preset idea that, for example, I'm supposed to do it only with this machine.
Yeah.
It should only cost this amount of money.
Yeah.
But then after we discuss with them, we show them different paths. I give you an example. A guy came to us with he was insisting that he should 3D print his device, and that would cost him, for example, a 70 riyal.
Okay.
After altering his brain and like showing him different paths of making the same part that he wants to build.
Yeah.
He ended up paying 300 bases, 3 riyal 700 bases.
Wow, from 70 riyal all the way.
Exactly.
MashaAllah.
So what we're trying to do, this is the biggest challenge for us every single day, is to teach or to show our innovators that there's always different paths to innovation. There's not only one path.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing, Firas, I see it even very high the way you have done it, because from him you talk about 70 riyal to 3 riyals. You've talked about from 1 million to 70,000. And it shows from your mindset, MashaAllah, Firas, it says very big, which is changing mindset. May Allah bless you all.
And Alhamdulillah, in terms of challenges, any challenge that we face, it get eased by the passion we get from the innovators themselves, and from the love and support we get from all the government officials and families. And so this is what really keeps us going. So we don't call challenges, they're just like regular things for us.
And it's fun, I know.
It's fun. Yeah, we're enjoying it. Yes, exactly.
Now, tell me one thing. What would you personally call an innovation or someone who's an innovator? How would you personally call it? This is Tariq. I'll say this is an innovation, and this is a person that I will call an innovator. Yes. An example. So would it be anything that someone comes and build up there? Would you say is innovation, or there's a certain criteria of things? Say, now this is an innovation.
We at the Innovation Factory, we have a philosophy that we don't judge ideas.
Okay.
One day they called the Wright brothers crazy for suggesting that they can fly, and now everyone flies.
Sahih, true.
One day we thought that space travel is not possible, and now all nations do space travel. So we have a policy where we don't judge your idea. Many times I personally think that this idea is not practical or something, and then like a few weeks after the persistence of that person, the innovator, and working day and night on it, he proves me wrong. So it's not really our job to judge someone idea, because one day I can tell you, the idea of the Innovation Factory itself was considered a crazy idea. And now
today where it is, the reality.
Exactly. Yes.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you and the team as well, Firas. Is there anything you wish to share before the end of our program today?
I would like to thank all the supporters of this project, from ITA to every single person, to the hundreds of volunteers who got passionate about the idea, and I can tell you something. We are a team of 6 people, but 20 days after the operation, the next generation of Innovation Factory leaders, they're here.
MashaAllah.
They're already here, they're already working, they're already practicing the methodologies of the Innovation Factory. So, and a lot of people used to tell us that Omani youth are like maybe not passionate, not lazy, or things such as this. And you just come in the evening, come and visit us, and you see how much passionate they are, how smart they are. They just need a platform. You just give them the platform, they will do you miracles.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said today, I've met many innovators. I have a lot of friends here in Oman, outside in Oman. But I can tell you, if I were to pick one name, that would be Firas Al Musafir, the CEO and the founder of Innovation Factory. A man with a vision and a mission who had an idea and today has come up and created a platform to bring up, create, and put all the innovators under one roof. MashaAllah. Thank you very much, Firas, for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4 to share about the exciting and inspiring journey. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all that you do, inshallah.
Thank you, Tariq. Barakallah feek.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, 5 p.m. and Sunday at 9 a.m. same time. I'm Tariq Al-Barwani along with our studio engineer, DJ Ayub, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant week. Ma'as salam.